All right, it's been a minute since I've made a video. My E46 has been in the shop for the last month and a half or whatever. They couldn't get to the bottom of the problem. So today we are going to do our own troubleshooting. If you haven't seen any of the previous videos, the car stalls. Car cranks, the car starts. It's not the issue. You drive it, and every once in a while, the lights on the bottom, like the doors and just the bottom cluster portion of the lights come on, and the car loses power and dies. Sometimes you can get it to start right away. Other times you can't. It just depends, I guess, on the situation. So I took it to a shop. They thought it was the crankshaft sensor. They replaced the crankshaft, checked a bunch of other stuff. Got the car back. It ran and drove for like a week or two just fine. Then we were coming back from the gym and it did it again. So what I'm gonna do today is I just got my ECU back from ECU Pro. Great group of people. I think it was like 160 bucks or something. Back and forth to check the programming. I wanted to make sure maybe it wasn't a programming issue. You have to send the EWS, which in their video it shows one 10mm plastic bolt, but in the 2005 325 E46 it's got one on either side. So you send the EWS, the ECU, and the key so they can make sure your continuity across the board is good. So today we want to troubleshoot power issues to the coil packs from the battery back. I'm going to start from the battery back. So battery's charged. It's a brand new battery. It's completely sufficient for this car, if not more. Got my multimeter. I just checked some fuses, and I'll show you where those were before we install the ECU. So obviously my ECU's out and I had it covered in a bag and all that stuff, but you have a fuse pack right here. You unclip it from the housing that holds the ECU and then slide the fuse retainer deal off, and then there's a second retainer. It's got a little clip, and when you pull on it, be careful because they'll all fly out. So we just checked continuity on those fuses. They were all good. They looked good. I'm gonna toss the ECU back in here, which is pretty simple. It literally holds on by a clip there and a clip on the other side. Plug all this stuff in very carefully, and then it's got your little bolt deals or screws, whatever they are. And then that's buttoned up. Then I'm gonna put the EWS back on, which you drop this little panel right here. They do make it seem like it's a little bit easier when they do theirs. I think it's a little bit different model. It wasn't hard by any means, and then I doubt you'll be able to see it because there's no light, but back up inside there by your ECU fan, you see that zip tie? That's your ECU fan. I want to check power to that as well. I'm not getting codes for that, but it's a BMW, so check everything. So back up in there is where you put your EWS. Plug it back in, button this thing up. I'll probably wait to button that up. I'm gonna fire it up, see if I get any codes, and then I'm gonna check grounds. Check the fuse box for continuity. Basically, at the end of the day, I'm gonna check every inch of this car. I'll go from the battery to the front. I'm gonna let it warm up though, now that I got the ECU back and stuff like that, and pull the seats out, because you have two grounds. You have 2 or 3 grounds, I think, under the seat. But you also have a crash sensor, and I want to check that out. Ground packs underneath the driver and passenger side fenders, you'll see the little brown wires that run to that, because on this model and most BMW models, I shouldn't say most BMW models, but this one, grounds are brown. So you have 2 sets of those that are bolted to the fenders right behind your headlights, and you can literally look under there and feel for those. What else are we gonna do? I might be forgetting some stuff. I'm gonna check fuel pressure, make sure the pump's running, make sure all that stuff's good to go, and yeah, oh, that's what I was gonna say. Since I was starting at the battery, you have, or this model, maybe yours does or doesn't, This right here is a male to female fitting, right? It slides inside here, and then you have this yellow plastic deal. Apparently, if you get in a bad enough accident, this pops off. So I imagine you will get no start if this is not, I don't imagine. You won't have power, so you won't be able to start if this is your issue. But I did want to start here and check this just to be safe. So yeah, we're gonna troubleshoot it back to front, front to back, side to side, up, down, and left, right, because at the end of the day, no one cares about your stuff more than you care about your stuff. I also spent a little bit of time on the SVR, so I still have the Porsche parking only because it's cool. So no more Porsche. Got the Range Rover SVR. It's a amazing machine. It's our third one. We love them. Carbon package. I mean, the thing's just an absolute beast. But anyways, I did a paint correction and ceramic coat on that. Not that I get anything for any of this, but because I pay for all of it on my own. This is the ceramic coat I use. I used to use Avalon King. I can't remember what this costs, but make sure my address wasn't on that so I didn't have to edit more stuff. But yeah, I mean, it's a really good product. The 110 degree surface tension or whatever contact angle, it's pretty dang accurate. Avalon King, I don't know. I don't like it nearly as good as this. And I've used Avalon King on multiple cars. So I literally take my leaf blower and this thing's dry in like 5 minutes. Water is basically allergic to this finish at this point with that ceramic coat. So big breath. Anyways, let's get into it, and hopefully we can figure out what's wrong with this car, because it doesn't seem like a lot of people are having the same issue I'm having that I can find. So yeah, sorry for all the talk. Let's get it. All right, ECU's in. I disconnect it front to back and then install it back to front. You just want to make sure that you are not forcing anything. The legs, you don't want to bend those over or anything fishy like that. So if it ain't just absolutely sliding in perfectly, take your time, double check, have a look. Let me toss this cover on and we'll install the EWS. All right, the video might go sideways or whatever, but up underneath here, the top there, you can see the two screws or bolts coming down through the engine compartment, and then right there is the plug for that. So slide that up in there, obviously plug facing you, and then put these two little plastic 10mm bolts on it. So plug her back in and should be good to go. That is the ECU fan, this housing. See that Phillips, the power goes in there, and then there's the fan. So that's what I was talking about earlier. We're gonna pop that in. We've already got the ECU in, and then we're gonna go from there. All right, do yourself a favor on this one and start that nut where it's got an open ear. Start that guy first, slide it on there after you've plugged it in, right? Because you want all the plugs to be parallel so you aren't bending anything over inside there. And then notch it onto that guy and start that one and tighten them both down. So you'll be money ahead that way. If you're not a gymnast, took a lot longer than it was supposed to, just because I had to do the old reverse reach around. So anyways, that's that. All right, moving on from that. Also, don't forget to plug in your little toe kick light too. That'll be a pain in the ass to take that apart a couple times. So I left mine kind of loose. There's the little deals right there to put it back together. All the research I've seen, there's a sequence to these BMW and Mercedes batteries. When you're disconnecting it, negative first, positive second, and when you're attaching it again, positive first, negative second. So either I've been lucky a bunch of times or it's not a thing. So, because I haven't always followed that, but moving forward, I'm gonna follow it. All right, we got the battery back in, positive first, negative second on the install, and I cleaned the terminals on both the battery and the positive and the negative. It's just good practice. So let's fire this thing up, see what we get. All right, so real quick off camera, I made sure there was no tools in the engine compartment or rags or anything before I start it, and then I pulled the back seat out and did a quick clean, so don't feel bad if yours is extremely dirty. So I just want to hear if the fuel pump primes, so which it starts, so it should. Although I'm not hearing anything. So those are the current lights. We'll see what happens when it starts. Trunk is open, driver's side door is open. I'm not hearing that fuel pump though. I think I can feel it though. I can feel it pumping. Put my hand on it. We're gonna let this thing warm up for a second and see what we get. We'll do that off camera though. The stalls though, I do want to catch the light show though, so yeah, we'll see if I can get it. I mean, the thing just runs like a top when it's running. Pretty quiet BMW if you ask me, so all's good so far. I will find that coolant link once I get it actually running though. Nice little purr, just the way you would expect it to sound. Still waiting for it to come up to temperature. See if we can't get a code, which the current codes I'm getting are like misfires and fuel to air. So that's what leads me to believe, check the coils. It's got brand new coils, brand new plugs, and I didn't get cheap ones. I got BMW ones, so yeah, all the parts that I put on here have been OEM, minus like the side markers and stuff, because that's just why. So anyways, mechanical and running parts have all been really nice parts. So yeah, we'll give her some time to warm up and see what we get. All right, well, it literally just cut out the engine. I still have power. None of the lights this time across the dashboard came on the bottom there. Normally these ones right here would all light up in the corner. It just literally stalled. All right, I'm thinking fuel. Not getting any codes. I did feel like I noticed a difference once it had ran for a little bit. I don't think the fuel pump was running. Now, I'm no expert at fuel pumps, but we're fixing to find out. I can tell you that. All right, it is officially dark here. Let me recap because I'm going to put all this stuff together. I was waiting for a little deal to trick the resistor and I didn't have it, so I just went down and bought a new one for the fuel pump. So I'm going to kind of do this backwards. Once you take this bezel down and you take the glove box out, which was amazing because I cleaned it spotless and it looks brand new. You have your fuse box here, right? It's on your little deal right here. He's boom. But to get to these resistors back here, this one on the far left being your fuel pump, it's a little bit lighter green because I just went and picked it up at AutoZone. I thought maybe that was bad. I could have tested it with cutting a paper clip in half, but I wanted my little deal to plug in there and give it constant power because I thought maybe it was a fuel issue. And it could have been a fuel issue, right? I won't know, I guess. Got my test light down there because I pulled out the back seats. and took the cover off, pulled the wire off. The brown is your negative, the two thicker ones, and then there's a white and blue one or whatever, that's your power. So I'm getting power to the pump. This is a good pump. So it's about $300 pump. It's getting fuel. So I replaced that resistor. Because you seen in an earlier video, the car really wasn't, I think you did, I can't remember what I filmed this far, but the car would run for like a minute or two and then stall out. So I put that resistor in there and it ran for like 15 straight minutes, and I was stoked. I was like, hell yeah, I figured it out, blah, 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 blah. And then it stalled out. It gave me 2 more codes. Let me tell you what those codes were. So 1634 and 1720. 1634 is the EML light. So anyways, I'm gonna put this back together, and then I'm going to troubleshoot those. So we know we got good power at the battery. I also multimetered every fuse in there. I know the resistors are good. I checked the fuses inside the ECU cover. There's 5 of them. There's 120 amp and 430 amp fuses in there. They were all good. ECU's good. Yeah, so tomorrow I'm gonna check all the coils and make sure they're getting power, make sure all the coils are good, do a visual check. Although I've already smoke tested this once or twice, I'm gonna smoke test it again. And then once that's done, I've cleaned the DISA valve. It is functional to my knowledge. I'm gonna mess with that a little bit, I think. And just look into the intake side of things and go from there. So that's where I'm at. I felt like I was making progress, and I didn't make any progress. So it's all part of it. Just got to keep going. All right, guys, I'm out here working by flashlight. I have my jump box charging my smoke machine, and then my compressor running it. Got a little glove here. You can see there's smoke getting in the system. I know it's pressurized because you can literally watch the freaking the glove grow as the pressure increases. So I just want to do this one more time to see. I don't think my smoke machine's fully warmed up yet, but yeah, smoke machine, my smoke tester. We're not partying out here, we're trying to fix a BMW, but anyways, just want to make sure this DISA valve is not leaking or anything else is not leaking in here. Look at that plug for ECS tuning. Yeah, I've taken this off and cleaned it at least once. I was kind of hoping to, you know, get an aha, oh there it is kind of moment, because I'm at a loss here. But I'm gonna let this pressurize up here, make sure the valve cover and any other component is not showing leaks. I'm actually gonna pull, well, I mean, I'd see smoke up underneath there if it was, you know, bad, but yeah, I'm at a loss here. So that's where I am updated. We'll keep you updated as well. Well, I'm not seeing any smoke anywhere. So, yeah. Troubleshoot some more electrical tomorrow. All right, back at it today. I went to Harbor Freight, got this fuel pressure gauge, and we just checked the fuel pressure, and we're getting 50 on the prime and above 50 when the car's on. I didn't film that part, but here's your fuel rail. You just take this little nut off, or this little keeper off, and then put the adapter, and then put the key in the on position for prime pressure, and then start it for running pressure. So yeah, I wanted to eliminate the entire fuel system, but I do have one more thing. I'm gonna actually run that under pressure for a little while and then see if the pressure just drops out before the car stalls. So that'll tell me that the fuel's being turned off somehow or whatever, but gonna check all the coils next and yeah, go from there. All right, so update. There's no air box on that thing. There's no mass airflow sensor, and it's been running now for about 15 minutes. So yeah, I'm gonna let it run for a little while longer and then see if I can't get a mass airflow sensor from the part shop and go from there. Time to kind of restore this car now at this point. If I can get it running, I want it to look good. Stock BMW styling, nothing insane. A lot of these cars are getting, you know, stripped down and turned into drift cars, and then they're gonna be in the junkyard in another 5 years. So I want one that's in mint condition, and everyone for their own, you know what I mean? Do you. I'm not trying to say one way or another. I love burnouts. I literally did a massive burnout in the Cummins on 22s out in my cul-de-sac, and I live in a quiet neighborhood. So, you know, it's fun, don't get me wrong. I'm just saying, for my particular taste at this time, I wanna restore this car back to its glory and use it just as a daily. So anyways, thank you for watching. I apologize if this video is all over the place. I still need to decide how I'm gonna title this thing, because I don't wanna piss a bunch of people off if I write EML fix, because I just don't know. So anyways, hopefully this helped someone that was troubleshooting a fuel issue or an issue, knowing where the fuses are and the resistors and all that stuff. But please comment, like and subscribe if you'd like to. I do all this stuff on my own time and my own dime, so I appreciate each and every one of you. And I try to answer anyone's questions. That's the biggest thing for me. You get a ton of these people online and they're posting all these videos and they're monetized and they don't respond to anybody. That absolutely pisses me off. And if any of you have an issue with it, hit me up. I had got a new phone. I can't talk, so I didn't have my notifications on. So a few of the people that I missed, I apologize. I tried to get right to you and let you know kind of where I was at. But anyways, that's what I pride myself on. Long story short is answering the questions. I may not know the answer, but we'll give it a go. We'll give it a go together. Thanks for watching.